Welcome everybody to episode, just kidding, it's 9. I looked this time. We're going to be discussing 3 things, something red, something white, and something blue. I figured I'd start, and I only have red because I passed a Redfin sign on the way to go drop off some keys.
Boo.
Boo. And my immediate thought was we need to let people know what agents think when they see a Redfin sign up on your house as a listing. Because
Should we just dive in?
I'm going to go for it. Yeah, I immediately think that's a cheap seller. Their first thought was to save money instead of hiring an agent that could help them make money.
I think it's also an uninformed seller. So they might think they're saving money, but they're really not in the long run. And that's where they're uninformed. Like if you look at the statistics, I don't know them. I'm making them up right now, but on average, most Redfin sales, I think I read it was like sell for $60,000 less than they would have with a full commission agent.
And what price point is that at?
I don't know. That's why I don't know.
Well, we'll look up that stats and see if we can see them and provide a link for you. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I don't know a ton about Redfin. I just know that when I've had listings and they brought in buyers, I get a call from somebody and I think they're a scheduling agent. And then the showing agent is the person that shows up. And typically they try to book back to back to back. So they're always running late. And then when you go to call the agent that's going to be meeting you there, you can't reach him. You get the scheduling agent who is handling a billion agents. And just like from before the agent even gets to your house to show it to their buyer, I'm going to try not to cuss, stuff is already messed up. And it's like you already have that like bad flow and bad interaction with that agent. And like if you have 10 people competing, one person was late, you can get a hold of them and they kind of ruined your day and weren't polite enough to reach out and give you a heads up. Hey, we're running 15 minutes behind. You're number 10 on the list, like from the get-go.
Yeah, and here's an analogy I've used with someone else. Do you want the person that barely passed med school, or do you want the person that was top of their class to work on you as doctor or surgeon? Redfin is the agent that barely passed their real estate exam. They cannot make it on their own. They have to have the salary.
Yeah.
They don't work that hard. Well, I shouldn't say that. Some do.
Yeah.
But they don't have to.
Right. No, the checks come in regardless. You go up, you show up, you open the door and say some random stupid comments about a house and walk out, you're getting paid. That's the difference between them and us.
Yeah. So I'm here to do the best I can for your house because we all do better when I'm selling your house if I can get more money for it. So I'm going to really sell that property. They don't care. Their commission doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. I think they do get small bonuses. Like I don't want to say it's all, because I don't think it is all salary. I think like they get small bonuses per sale, but it's nothing that's going to motivate you to the size of our checks. But there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, we should do that as the next podcast. What agents actually go through and what justifies a commission. Because I think everyone thinks we're overpaid at the end of the day. There's so many times I'll break it down on like a per hour basis, and I'm like, I've been below minimum wage on some deals.
I've had someone, I was actually talking about it yesterday, and I said to them, when we get paid a lot. Yeah. But there's a lot of time we don't get paid.
Yeah. I've made less than minimum wage, but I've also been like a top brain surgeon in the world if you break stuff down. And it's everywhere in between, and that's how I kind of look at our job. It's like a whole. It's you deal with the putting in 12 months of work with that one buyer to get a tiny check that you had to give and get all this crap. And you get the easy sales, but altogether it averages out. Yeah. And we really can't look at, I mean, I learned finally not to look at the checks. Don't count money. Just go do your job. And it comes. It doesn't always come fairly or at the right amounts that you think it should have for how much effort you put into a specific client. But it's just the job.
Yeah, I set goals at the beginning of the year. Well, let's talk about this next time.
Okay. I did Redfin. You do white. I'll do blue.
So something real estate related that's white?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you smirking?
Because I didn't think about this far enough in advance when I was like red, white, and blue. And it's, I don't know. Let's see what you have to say about it.
Let's go with design.
Oh, okay.
So right now I'm seeing huge popularity in black and white. So like white house, like black trim, or I always say, like another topic on design with a client, make your house as neutral as possible. Mm-hmm. Typically that ends up white kitchen cabinets, white bathroom vanities, white sinks. So
I'm a huge fan of the white and black with some accent colors such as like a brass or a brush gold.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. I love the contrast. You find a lot of that stuff. Like you working in Long Beach, I've been in old properties that are like the 1910s and 1930s, where they'll actually have like the old original hexagon, like Art Deco tiles. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's like a weird style, but I think it's just different enough to where I'm not just like everybody else all into the light white European oak flooring, quartz countertops, white shaker cabinetry. Shit gets old. They got old a while ago, but because I think it's such a clean palette that you can do so much with, it's hanging around longer than like the Mediterranean Tuscan fad that rolled through, early 2000s, mid 2000s, before this white on white thing came in.
Yeah, I don't think white's going to go away just because it's so bright and people don't want to live in a cave.
Yeah.
But yeah, styles are changing, accent walls, like bringing in darker colors, but you still have to mix those with the lighter color. You couldn't do your whole house black. It would look weird.
Yeah, I've seen, I think one of the builders across the way, they put in some, like at the wet bar across from the white kitchen counter, there was black cabinetry.
Yeah.
And it accented the kitchen. It was perfect. It was like just enough. Or I'll see people do maybe the bottom cabinetry black where it's a little bit lower and it can be shadowed. Yeah. And then everything on the upper end is all white and bright and open. So where you are at eye level, you don't feel like you're closed in by having everything around you black.
Yeah. Okay, that's my
blues. The blues, aka buyer's remorse. That's something I'm running into right now.
Uh-oh.
I think that's where I'm seeing a lot of houses come back on the market. And
recently?
Yeah. I'm seeing more houses fall back out of escrow rather than just like this climb after climb. And I feel, and I've had other clients share their thoughts with me, that people are having buyer's remorse from having to, I just opened escrow 2 days ago, Springdale and Slater. House was listed at $889.
My old hood.
Is it? We're over $1 million. But $1 million is
hey,
where
Mom, you want to sell our old house?
It's where it was valued right. I personally think it was underpriced. And so it's the reason we came in and got it, because I showed my buyers the value of what comps are going for. And if you set a specific price and it's either, a little too low, a little too high, if it's too low, people have that cap about how much they want to pay over ask, even if the value's there. My client just happened to have a good agent that knew the value was there, so it wasn't like that difficult buyer's remorse kind of situation where he felt like he was overpaying. He knows he's actually getting like market value.
So you did your job before you went there and actually ran comps.
I did my job, yeah.
That could go back to our red.
Yeah.
Is your agent showing up? Do they know that neighborhood? You knew that was undervalued. You knew that this house should be priced here, and you knew essentially what that realtor did as a strategy, whether they did it on purpose or not, but they priced it under market to get multiples, or that's what's going to happen.
It's going to happen regardless. They probably could have gone in the nines, and maybe more people would have gone over that $1 million mark. I mean, it's just hard to tell. I just know that people have trouble jumping from censure. What's the word for like every 100? From the 800s to the millions. It's very easy to jump up, beyond 900,000 when you're in the upper 800,000 range. But I think to make that jump twice and then go from like 6 figures to 7 figures is a little bit more daunting for people.
Yep. So do you think houses come out of the market quicker, or as we get more towards a changing market?
I'm not sure. I've heard a lot that rates are absolutely going to be going up, and the change went from like 2024 to they're going to push them up and try to get them to a certain point by 2023. But I have clients that have friends in, high up at large loan companies, Quicken, New American Funding. And so I hear rumors often, and I don't know what's happening. I just heard like July 15th, something's changing. And so my advice to my buyer that I'm going to meet for that house at the inspection today is just going to be to lock in your rate as soon as possible.
Yeah, which you should do anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be going lower. I mean, there's too much wrong with the economy, and these low interest rates have been hurting us.
And it's my understanding if you lock in a rate, you can still go lower.
If it does drop, I mean, I don't know.
Or
I've never been in that situation.
You would just go for a new rate.
Yeah, wait till it expires if you're that confident. But they change daily, like everything else, so it could drop then go back higher.
Okay, so next time our topic is going to be...
I forgot. We'll have to watch this and be like, oh yeah, that's what it was. So anyway, we hope you guys have a safe 4th of July. Try riding that Ferris wheel they're putting up down there. I think, what'd you say? I think the beach trying to look like Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Should be interesting. 4th of July is never really boring in Huntington, and they're adding more and more stuff.
Yeah, and don't be dumb. Don't be end up in the ER because you blew yourself up with some fireworks.
Yeah. That's our advice to you. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.